What is up, everybody? This is the second episode of Rap Roots Media Interviews. It was great to talk with Jhase Reifeis. I wanted this interview to be a bit of a educational video for those getting into the music industry or those looking to pursue an engineering career. That's why I'm a bit more quiet in this one. I just wanted to let him talk and tell the audience what it's like to be an engineer, what the schedule's like, what the setup's like, and I wanted everyone to just have a learning experience with that. I definitely did. Taught me a lot while I was over there interviewing him. He's a great engineer. I also wanted to talk briefly about our Patreon. Any behind-the-scenes footage that you guys may want to see, we have a $2 membership fee for any members of our Patreon. If you guys want to go and join, that helps us out immensely because you guys get exclusive content, exclusive footage, and we get some money to be able to go pursue bigger artists. In the future, I would love to do a live interview with an artist of your guys' choosing. I love doing these interviews. I hope you guys enjoy them as well. I've been having a great job doing them. We have an interview with Isaac Schultz, who is a filmmaker, next week. So that's going to be a great interview. We are booked up for the next month, and I'm so happy with that. And I just really hope you guys are enjoying these interviews because I have loved doing them. Anyways, guys, enjoy this interview with Jhase Reifeis. Peace. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the second episode of Rap Roots Interviews. We are here with Justin Reifeis.
Jhase Reifeis, we out here.
Jhase Reifeis. Okay.
We out here. We out here.
Well, first I just want to tell the audience you're an engineer,
That's right.
audio engineer, among many things.
That's right.
So I just want you to start off by telling the audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your life, like what brought you to music in a way.
Well, it always is a banger speech when somebody starts off with an so. I'm from California.
California,
And
okay.
I actually grew up here in Michigan just because my mom decided to, keep me around over my dad, which is cool. My dad wanted to stay in California. I probably would too if I was older. No, I'm just kidding. But, stay with your kids. I was very in tune with music growing up just because my mom was a very musical kind of character, I guess you could say. She was always singing and dancing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She was really into R&B and hip hop and all the popular stuff from 2000s era and all that stuff. But yeah, no, I grew up on stuff with a lot of drums.
A lot of drums?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been big into drums ever since I could remember. I actually had a drum set when I was younger. Like a rock band drum set.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really like the guitar for some reason, but I liked the drum set.
Mm-hmm.
So the drum set was my shit. I was going hard on the drum set.
So, what's your process when working with a new artist?
Yeah. So working with a new artist is really interesting because it really just depends on the overall experience that the artist has.
Yeah.
So if an artist has experience at home just kind of making their own music through let's say a microphone they built and their own little setup, that could be pretty intimidating. Working with an engineer that actually has a vocal booth. So sometimes artists will come in here and they think that the process is just, oh, well, let me record and let me just get it done, which, yeah, if you have the general idea, that's pretty good. But my job as an engineer is to make your music more fire than what it is. And if I can't do that, then what value are you getting from me that you can't just do by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the process is pretty straightforward. It depending on like I said in the beginning, the artist experience level.
Mm-hmm. What are your goals in the music industry? Would you like to be a producer, or is engineering where it's at? Is that your go-to career if you could dream? Be your go-to job for the rest of your life? Would it be engineer?
Right.
Would that dream job be engineer?
So I would say my short-term goal is certainly in line with my long-term goal, which is, being an engineer. And I think that's easier than, being per se an artist in the world, which is a little bit more volatile. Because if I was, a vocal engineer, I can make your music sound better, that's not really easy to find compared to somebody who can just kind of make beats. You can just go on YouTube or something, find beats, or you know what I mean? You can kind of figure out how to make your own beats if you really want to.
Mm.
But a vocal engineer, that's a whole rabbit hole that a lot of people don't realize comes hand in hand with the whole audio world. And my short-term goal would be to get an internship at Sweetwater as like a side engineer alongside an actual engineer, because huge engineers go to Sweetwater. Like huge names. And that would be the stepping stone for my long-term goal, which is working at an actual record label. So I ultimately see myself running a recording studio company here in Big Rapids, believe it or not. But, I got to get that experience first before I can do that.
What would be your dream artist to work with in the industry if you could only pick? If you had your pick.
Well, I guess that's kind of a hard question, honestly, because me being who I am right now, 23 years old, I feel like that answer would change depending on me being 24 or 25, and my knowledge expanding. I feel like right now, currently, I would probably really enjoy working with somebody like Dr. Dre, just because, he's really good at just producing and all the aspects of, he does all that stuff, really well. He's worked with a lot of big names. He could give me some really good advice. I just feel like that'd be pretty dope right now.
Dr. Dre, that's the go-to.
Just right now, yeah.
Outside of music, what are some of your goals and interests? What do you do when it's not music? What do you turn to?
My goal is to be a great father, genuinely. And I feel like that's kind of hard to do when you got school and you got to work and you got to survive in this world and just kind of do it. You feel like you have less time as you grow up. And I don't want to forget my kids, so I feel like I have to make a goal out of being a great father. You know what I mean? Just kind of trying to put in the work. And you got to do that with anything. You want to look good, you got to put in the work to look good, You want your car to look nice, you got to put in the work to make your car look nice. I can't pay for that, really.
How do you keep yourself grounded? Obviously, with school, with having a family, with being an aspiring engineer. What do you do to keep yourself grounded, keep yourself focused on all of those different avenues of your life?
Just have as much fun as possible, believe it or not. I feel like what I do is if I don't have fun, then I just drive myself insane. And so if I can just take whatever it is I'm doing, focus on that one thing, and just try to have as much fun as I can with it in the time that I'm focusing on it, then eventually that thing will be okay, and I can focus on the next thing and just start having fun with the next thing.
Okay. I can understand that. How do you avoid burnout when you're working, say you're working on a very long project or a very long single for an artist? How do you avoid burning out? You work on this song or album for so many hours.
So you gotta be comfortable with learning about yourself. And if you don't learn about yourself, which is I feel like probably one of the hardest things for us to do, because as we get older, we like to think that we know who we are and we understand the world. But the reality is we never really know who we are. So I feel like if you get more comfortable with just testing your limits and really just being attentive to the things you're doing in your life, just paying attention to how you feel when you're working for like 2 hours versus 4 hours, you know, stuff like that. Just like, you know, really paying attention to you over everything else. The more you understand yourself, the more you can avoid these things, and you can say, okay, you can come over. You know, you can say to a client, okay, you can come over and we can work for 4 hours, but it has to be at this time, because if I work at this time, then I know that I'm going to be groggy the next day, or I'm going to feel like crap later tonight. You know what I'm saying? And you would only know that from being like really attentive to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like personally. Burnout sucks. Burnout sucks. If you don't pay attention to yourself, you're going to regret it.
For
Go
sure.
eat a cheeseburger. Spend $20 on yourself. You deserve it every once in a while, you know? I swear.
What has been, you feel like, what has been your biggest success and your biggest struggle as an engineer over time?
My biggest struggle personally is myself telling myself that I'm good enough, when in reality I haven't put in enough work. You know, putting myself up to a task where I could have done it a lot better if I would have just like kind of spent a little bit more time just kind of learning about it. There's been a number of times where I've worked with people that I feel like I've wasted their time just because I wasn't prepared, and I would literally have to watch like a YouTube video just to get done what I needed to get done, and that is really defeating.
Mm-hmm.
That after a session really gets you. I feel like for me personally, because I'm just like, damn, I'm supposed to be a good engineer. I should know how to do these things.
Mm-hmm. Your biggest success, though, you didn't say that.
I feel like the biggest success just comes from those moments generally. And that's why I didn't really talk about that, because I feel like with every failure per se, quote unquote, comes success, because it teaches you how to like grow off of that. And then in the future, like you always have that skill set to turn to in case you ever need it. And if not, you are honing in on that skill set till you can add it to your arsenal and use it normally.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Building off that, what has been your biggest struggle outside of music?
I'd say school's been whooping my ass. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Just being in college, you know, I'm just a semester away from getting my associate.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on like bachelor's classes now. That and trying to balance out, you know, being a husband, father, all that stuff, you know, engineering, obviously. It's kind of, you know, everybody has life going on the outside of anything they're doing, but we're out here. We out here.
So what have you, from said struggles, what have you learned from them? What has it taught you? You said school's been whooping your ass, but what has school taught you? And then balancing fatherhood and your wife as well.
So generally, I've learned that just like an overall good answer for all of that just bounces off of what I said before. But having fun, just if you aren't having fun with anything you're doing, whether it's in school, like you aren't trying to like find something interesting going on in school. If you aren't like spending time with your loved one, trying to have a great time with them, if you're just not having fun, then like, what's the point? What are you doing? You're not going to remember it. Your brain's not going to register it as a good memory. It's not going to your thought process when you go throughout your day is, what did I do before that made me feel good?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to do that again.
Yeah.
So having fun is the best way to do it. And if
Gotcha.
you can't, you know, I don't know.
So how do you balance out having a family and then trying to also pursue this engineering career in music?
So I'm in a really fortunate position myself personally, where I'm doing this week on, week off thing with the kids and their mom. it was really hard for a while, and sometimes you have life kind of happen where you got to focus on other things, and you'll have to take months, maybe even a year, just to kind of focus on other things than the music. And that happens because you know that if music is what you're going to be doing, that's always going to be a part of you. No matter if you stop doing this, you start focusing on that, no matter what, it's all going to be for the music. And if you focus on like your family, just know that that's going to help you out, because if you really care about family, then you're not going to be at peace in mind enough to even make anything good if you're not putting attention towards that stuff. So the like balancing out a family and all that, that is it's really hard, but you know, like I said, towards anything you got to work at it if you want it to be good. Anything.
So, in terms of engineering, what's one piece of advice that you would give to any new engineer?
Learn what a limiter and a gate is. I'm telling you, you'll save yourself a lot of heartache if you learn what a limiter and gate is. Because, whew, man, I would sit there and spend so much hours cutting up the little lines in between just to get the little gaps out, you know what I mean? And try to turn off every little sound in every room that I was recording anything. You know, if it's really that important to you, learn what a freaking gate is, bro. I'm telling you, that will change your life, bro. Make your audio sound so clean. That, a little compression goes a long way. I know those are really intimidating and it sounds easy to just kind of slap them on there. But if you really took the time to try to understand what they do, like really, days even, just for one thing, like different aspects of one thing, like I'm telling you, like it would change your life. Especially if you're doing anything in the audio video world. That shit is like a must to understand. I can't I can't explain the importance enough of that one, I promise.
So, what is your favorite genre of music, or your favorite artists within your favorite genre? I guess a double question: favorite genre and then favorite artists in that genre.
Yeah, so I would say my favorite genre is R&B, or even like melodic rap. You know, it's like rap that has like you know, like a really like a lot of vibe to it. It's hard to. There's so many genres nowadays. You know, just saying R&B really puts a broad perspective on what I like to listen to. If you hear a song on the radio that just really makes you feel something, chances are that's probably something that I really like listening to. Something that just really grabs you and just like makes you like feel something. That's the kind of music I aspire to make. I don't just want to make background music.
What is the favorite artist that you've ever worked with?
That I've worked with?
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't worked with enough artists to say that I have a favorite per se. But I would say that I've worked with enough people to say that one of the people that I really enjoy working with is an artist that goes by the name of SGB Lil Strobe, without the SGB Lil Strobe. And the reason why I say that is because he's pretty committed. He is the only guy that I've worked with that really has challenged me and has consistently been holding me accountable for the projects that he wants to get done. Like we've done over probably like 30 projects.
30?
Yeah, something like that.
Like in terms of like 30 songs or
Yeah, songs, yeah, so
or
far.
projects or
In terms of overall projects, I would say probably most of them are singles. We've had probably like 2 EPs.
2 EPs, okay.
Yeah.
So what's the setup like? Tell us about it just a little bit. I see it back there. It's not the camera view, but
So the setup's nice, right? But it's not about the setup. It's all about the mindset in the setup. Because what I've learned was you can have something that looks super dope, but
Yeah.
if you let anybody sit over here at the computer and they're just at the keyboard and they don't really have like the ability to like get that sound out of their head onto the setup, then it kind of kills the inspiration. So it's all about the person's mindset in the setup and how they know how to use everything. But over here, I just basically got a whole PC that I made. It's like a $1,500 PC. You know, it doesn't have to be that expensive. I just game on the side. So I got a triple monitor setup. I got an esports monitor just because I like playing Call of Duty here and there. But most of the work actually gets done just on 2 monitors. I don't even use my third monitor.
Gotcha.
And if you want to be on a mouse and keyboard for a long time and really enjoy yourself, get a nice gaming mouse and keyboard. I'm telling you, they have really nice feeling peripherals. It makes you want to just use them for long periods of time. And I just have a cheap chair, like a Amazon chair, but I'm looking to get a Sierra Labs chair. That's a really good investment. It's like $700, but like I said, if I'm gonna be sitting in it like all day, almost every day, that in my opinion, that's a good investment. Lots of cables. I got a ML1 microphone with a VMS preamp that powers that microphone. It's a combo setup. It was like $800 for that. It emulates other kinds of microphones, it's a modeling microphone. It's really nice. It models really popular microphones like the C800 by Sony. Really nice microphone for R&B or rap vocals. I got this homemade booth, which is like 4 by 4 feet, and it's got like sound dampening on each sides except for the entrance, just to catch a really clean sound. The VMS preamp runs into WA76 compressor, which just kind of cleans up the whole recording right away from the get-go. And I'm looking to get another compressor, like a WA2A, but that's going to just take a little bit of time. And that would just make things really smooth, but until then I got a digital version, which I use.
Yeah.
And all that just kind of runs into it's a SSL 2 Plus preamp that just plugs in my computer and converts all the audio. Pro tip for you or anybody getting into audio engineering or anything. XLR audio, way better than digital audio. And that's like the USB. That's digital. XLR is like you use a preamp. You know what I mean? It has like that triple prong connector. Yeah. That's all I used. That one up there's a XLR. You can see it.
Yeah.
That was only like $30. So yeah.
What's the most time that you've spent working on a song or a project?
So far, I feel like I'm setting records now. So it's like I think like 75 hours on one song.
So over 3 days?
Yeah, but that's like a cumulative over like weeks. It's not like
Okay.
consistently, like it tracks your
So you're not staying up 3 nights a week finishing the song.
I stay up
banging it
some
out.
nights, but not 3 nights in a row. That's for sure.
I'm gonna get me a snack.
Go ahead. Them things are crazy.
I think I asked you all like my personal deep dive questions, but we can still just
I think
talk
those are
here.
good questions, genuinely.
Talk here, eat a cookie or two. Here, you want a cookie?
I'm gonna smash on a couple of. I think I might cook some shit. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm getting to that point myself.
Make me dinner.
Make yourself at home, my man. Them Chips Ahoy go crazy. Yeah. If there's anything that people could learn it's from vocal engineers and in like the audio world. You know, you don't want to learn how to make a beat. You don't want to learn how to produce per se. You want to learn how to do audio engineering. And the reason why I say that is because not a lot of people think about the basics, but the basics are the, you know, that's how you make things, the building blocks of anything. Like, that's how you do that. And if you have an understanding of audio, you're going to make it a lot farther, whether it's with music, whether it's with streaming, video editing, anything. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. Thanks for having me, my man.
Yeah, dude.
Appreciate you.